smartphone OnePlus 7 will be the next device in the only line of the Chinese company, the presentation of which is expected in May or June 2019. Most likely, as in the case of his predecessors, the manufacturer will promote it as the next killer flagships. Unlike most other vendors, OnePlus produces a very limited range of models. At the moment, only 2 new smartphones are released per year. This is even less than that of Apple, which has been announcing 3 iPhones for 3 years, and not 2, as before. Thanks to this approach, the team of specialists working on OnePlus 7 has enough time to thoroughly test and debug both the hardware and the software. That is why at least 3 years in a row the company's smartphones at the time of its release are the fastest. Alas, nowadays there are less and less chances to lure the buyer simply with the highest rates in popular benchmarks. And it's not even the case that synthetic tests do not guarantee at all that the device will work just as quickly in everyday life. Just the performance of OnePlus 7 and other flagships in 2019 in most cases will be redundant. As is the case with PCs, only the most resource-intensive games, as well as video processing applications, can actually load the processor and GPU. For example, not everyone will buy a laptop based on the latest Core i7. Well, why spend so much money if you will go with it to social networks and work only with Office applications? The most resource-intensive program in this case becomes, at best, a graphical editor. With smartphones, the situation is still different, but now there is a tendency in the Android world, when the average in terms of model characteristics are more popular than the top ones. In this situation, OnePlus 7 should really surprise users with something besides transcendental performance. What can the creators of OnePlus 7 do to bet on? 5th generation network support. The future OnePlus 7 should be one of the first smartphones to support 5G networks. Judging by the statements of the company's representatives during the summer conference of the Mobile World Congress Shanghai 2018, its engineers are actively working in this direction, although it was not said which company's smartphone would be the first to receive this option. If you believe the rumors, the leadership OnePlus is now actively engaged in negotiations with US mobile operators. The latter are preparing for the launch in 2019 of the 5G infrastructure for commercial operation. So, it is perhaps the most important task for a company to leak into the US market. From other countries, South Korea, Japan, and China are preparing to become the pioneers in launching 5th generation networks. At first, the coverage area will cover only large megacities, but in the future coverage is expected to be comparable to current 5G networks. Screen? The current 6 has a 6.28-inch optic AMOLED display with a resolution of Full HD plus 1080 x 2280 pixels and a relatively compact mono bowl, which houses the front camera, speaker, and sensors. The OnePlus 6T monobrow will be replaced by a small teardrop neckline. Yes, OnePlus 7 can get a screen with a resolution of QHD plus 1440 x 3040 pixels with an aspect ratio of 9:19 or even longer. However, a higher image clarity will in any case result in a decrease in performance. Namely, it was the main fad of the company for many years. Biometrics? The standard modification OnePlus 6 fingerprint scanner is located in the usual place, on the back of the case under the camera. The 6T Turbo, coming out in October, will have a fingerprint module, presumably optical, built right into the display. But even if the OnePlus 7 gets a more advanced ultrasonic sensor integrated into the screen, it will not give it a competitive advantage. But the increase in the cost of the smartphone is expected to be very tangible. And what did you want, anyway? The consumer pays for any innovations. Also, OnePlus specialists can improve face unlock face recognition. At the moment, this function of the company's flagships does not work quite reliably. It would definitely be nice, but the buyer is unlikely to decide that he needs to buy exactly OnePlus 7 just for this reason. Camera? Maybe. Despite the great work done, the flagships of the company so far in terms of mobile photography are significantly inferior to the top models from competitors. so we should expect a triple main camera with a 3-fold hardware zoom and a double front with an additional module for measuring the depth of space. In principle, if OnePlus 7 offers the best photographic possibilities at an affordable price, this will be a weighty argument in favor of buying this particular smartphone. In any case, the same Huawei has not relied on especially powerful for a long time.